Those involved in television news know it's a tough, grueling job at times, but somehow it's been hard to debunk that deep-seated myth about television news being glamorous.
You know, trying to look good in the reporter with the high heels and the dress, and then running in 90-degree heat with all this equipment. It was crazy.
I guess a good news day is a bad hair day, and Andrea found that out firsthand.
Give me a head with hair, long, beautiful hair, shining, gleaming, streaming, flaxing, waxing. Give me.
We would go into the ladies' room around 4:15 or so and do our little makeup time. And if you came in there with a camera, we both had these huge white rollers in our hair and the clips and getting prepared for the newscast. And that was really a time when she really mentored me in spite of everything that was going on with the powder and the eyeshadow and stuff.
Andrea Clesi not only mentored colleagues, but would lend her support to just about anyone in the community in need of a voice or assistance. Her 31-year career at WBRZ has placed her in the spotlight, both behind the desk and within the community, a community she's been part of her entire life. In fact, it was while attending St. Thomas More Elementary School when she realized her future career would be in television news.
When I was 10 years old, I wrote in my childhood diary that I wanted to be a news reporter.
After graduating high school, Clesi entered LSU and the LSU Journalism School. There, she quickly learned what journalism was all about.
Journalism school was very tough. The toughest course I had was, and it was very true to life in the field of journalism, was Jules Demacourt, who was a professor out there. You had to work for the radio station, KLSU, and you had to come in there one day a week and you had to have a list of story ideas, at least 15 ideas. And on your day that you worked there, you had to gather as many stories as you could. You had to go out and interview people with your little tape recorder. You had to come back, edit, put, on those old manual typewriters, put the story together, voice the story for the radio. You did a little radio newscast, and he would sit in his office and he'd listen to the radio all day. And that's how you were graded. And it was very true to life because in the world of news, as you know, you go out there every day, you have story ideas, you gather the news, you come back, you're on a deadline, you put it together and you air it.
It was just before her senior year at LSU when Clesi acquired an internship at WBRZ. Following graduation, she interviewed for a position as a reporter. She impressed the news director, John Spain, landed the job, and began what would turn out to be a distinguished and outstanding career.
She broke in at a time when the business was dominated by men, and she was one of the first major female news anchors in Baton Rouge. And because at the time, I think it was the right thing to do, and I think our management thought it was the smart thing to do, because think about it. You have her input, her involvement, and her perspective in a newscast. It's going to be a better show. And it was.
Andrea started off basically as a kid, right in college doing an internship, and then went right into it covering some pretty tough, challenging times in our community. I know she went through covering education and covering the DSEG and all that was going on with that. And I think that's probably where she really established her name in the community. So she's done consumer and she's done just lots of really hard-hitting news reports, established that trust in the community and the credibility which still lends to her legacy even today. She's mentored so many folks that have come through this newsroom, including me. And I don't know that she even knows that she's been my mentor, but just whenever you had a question about how to write a story or something, she always took the time to look at my scripts and offer suggestions on, change this word or change that word. She's offered to make phone calls to people that I didn't know who to contact. So she had that legacy out in the community as well as here in the newsroom.
Clesi's favorite segments were her stories centered on education and children. She was even awarded the National Kennedy Foundation Award for a half-hour program she produced on the Special Olympics.
She not only inspired people as a journalist, but also someone who loved her community. And she always gave back and helped her community, whether it was through her storytelling, her volunteer work.
John Spain's mantra was, there are no slow news days, only slow reporters.
And Andrea Clesi was anything but slow. She hustled in the newsroom, gave in the community, all the while raising her own family. And although she's been retired from WBRZ for about 4 years, she's still involved in the community and in journalism. She even returned to LSU to receive her master's degree in journalism and serves as an adjunct professor. Today, she enjoys spending time with her husband Wally as well as their 4 children. She also relishes her downtime outside the public's eye.
And I guess my favorite thing I liked about the career was we were not experts at any one particular subject, but we were able to learn a little bit about a lot of things because we had to report the information to the viewers. And so as a result of that, I was always learning something. And I liked learning. I still like learning to this day.
She was Baton Rouge, and I'm so proud of her.
For whatever success I have in this business and being on this anchor desk, I owe a great deal of it to her because she really did mentor me. She cared about me. She had tough love words for me when I needed it, and just real encouraging. And I'm just so proud of her. Congratulations, Andrea.
Congratulations again to Andrea Clesi, a 2011 inductee into the LSU Manship School's Hall of Fame.